lecturer, wit, radio orator, intimate friend of the great and near great, last week found his celebrated wit no weapon with which to combat an injured hip. The live Mr. Whiteside, trekking across the country on one of his annual lecture tours, met his Waterloo in the shape of a small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Ernest W. Stanley. Result: canceled lectures and disappointment to thousands of adoring clubswomen in Omaha, Denver, and Point West. Further result: the idol of the airwaves rests until further notice in the home of surprised Mr. and Mrs. Stanley. Possibility: Christmas may be postponed this year. What's that mean?
A small piece of ice on the doorstep of Mr. and Mrs. Oh, just think of it.
Of course, if it was my house, Daisy, I'd have a bronze plate put on the step right where he fell.
Well, of course, I feel terrible about it. I mean, he absolutely never goes to dinners anywhere. And he has to come here and this has to happen. Oh, poor Mr. Whiteside. But things will be so wonderful having him here with us. We'll sit around in the evenings and we'll discuss books and plays and all the great people he's known. He may even read. Goodbye, Mr. Chip.
Daisy, I can't stand it any longer. When do you suppose Mr. Whiteside? Oh, good morning.
What do you think? H.G. Wells was just on our telephone.
H.G. Wells?
And he's getting up and he's coming up this morning. Oh, and you're in time. Look.
Oh, Daisy, I don't like this kind of publicity at all. When do you suppose Mr. Whiteside's going to leave?
Ernest, he's only gotten up this morning. He's had quite a shock. He'll need a couple of days to rest.
Well, I'm sure it's a great honor from being in the house and all, but it is getting a little upsetting, you know. Phone going all the time, bells ringing, messenger boys running in and out.
Pardon me, Mrs. Stanley. Have the cigarettes come yet?
Oh, I've just sent my son out to go get them.
Thank you.
Oh, this is Miss Cutler, Mr. Whiteside's secretary.
How do you do? May I move this chair?
You mean he's coming out right now?
He is indeed.
He's coming out. I can hardly wait. June, Mr. Whiteside is coming out.
Sir, Mr. Whiteside's
Oh, I'm so excited. I hardly know what to do. I know I'll simply die. Oh, good morning, Dr. Bradley.
Well, good morning, good morning. Here we all are, bright and merry. Bring our little patient out, would you, Miss Preen? I may vomit.
Good morning, Mr. Whiteside. I am Mrs. Ernest W. Stanley, if you'll remember, and this is my husband, Mr. Stanley.
How do you do, Mr. Whiteside? I hope that you're better.
Thank you. I am suing you for $150,000.
How's that? What?
I said I am suing you for $150,000.
Is this because you slipped on our steps, Mr. Whiteside?
Samuel J. Leibowitz will explain it all to you in court. And who's that Harvey standing there with the kiss of death?
Oh, my cat's from jelly.
Made from your own foot, I have no doubt. And now, Mrs. Stanley, I have a few small matters to take up with you. Since this corner druggist tells me I shall be confined to this moldy mortuary for at least another 10 days, due entirely to your stupidity and negligence, I shall have to carry on my activities as best I can. I shall require the exclusive use of this room as well as that drafty sewer which you call a library. No one is to come in or out while I am in this room.
What do you mean, sir?
We have to come through this room to get to the stairs, Mr. Whiteside.
Is there a back entrance?
Well, yes.
Then use that. I shall also require a room for my secretary, Miss Cutler. Let me see. I shall have a great many incoming and outgoing calls, so please do not use the telephone. I sleep until noon, and I must have quiet throughout the house until that hour. There will be 5 for lunch today. Where's the cook?
Mr. Whiteside, if I may interrupt
You may not, sir. Will you take your clammy hand off of my chair? You have the touch of a sex-starved cobra. And now will you all leave quietly, or must ask my secretary to pass along you with the baseball bat.
Well, goodbye, Daisy. I'll call. Oh, no, we mustn't use
Dining room for my guests. And where are those cigarettes?
Oh, I've just sent my son out to go get them. He should be back any moment. Sarah, here's the menu for lunch. I guess I'll take mine upstairs on a tray.
Young lady, I cannot stand indecision. Will you either go up those stairs or come down them?
Hello, Mr. Whiteside. Here are your cigarettes. Sorry I took so long. I had to go to 3 different stores.
You were gone long enough to have a human race? What are you doing? Go in there, read the life of Florence Nightingale, and learn how unfitted you are for your chosen profession.
Well, I think I can safely leave you in Miss Cutler's capable hands. Shall I look in again this afternoon?
If you do, I shall spit right in your eye.
Oh, what a sense of humor you writers have. By the way, I've been doing some writing myself about my medical experience.
Am I to be spared nothing?
Would it be too much to ask of you, Mr. Whiteside, to look over it while you're here?
Trapped.
Well, I just happen to have a copy with me. Story of a humble practitioner, or 40 years in Ohio doctor.
I shall draw everything.
Well, thank you, Mr. Whiteside. We'll see you on the morrow. Don't forget those little pills, and don't move that hip too much. Goodbye.
Bye. Maggie, will you please take 40 years below the navel, or whatever it's called?
Well, I must say you have certainly behaved with all your accustomed grace and charm.
Look here, Puss, I'm in no mood to discuss my behavior, either good or bad. I had no desire to cross this cheerless threshold. I was hounded and badgered into it. And I now find myself, after 2 weeks of racking pain, accused of behaving without charm. What would you have me do, kiss them?
Very well, Sherry. After 10 years, I should know better than to try to do anything about your manners. When I finally do give up this job, I may write a book about it all. Through the years with Prince Charming.
Listen, Repulsive, you are tied to me with an umbilical cord made of piano wire. And now, if we may please dismiss the topic of my charm, for which, incidentally, I am paid $1,500 per appearance, then perhaps we can get down to work. Oh, no, we can't. Yes?
I'm Harriet Sedley. I know you're Sheridan Whiteside. I saw this holly, framed green against the pine trees. I remember what you had written about Tess and Jude the Obscure. It was the nicest gift I could bring to you. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Good God, what was that?
That was Mr. Stanley, Mr. Harriet. I've talked to her a few times. She's quite strange.
Strange. She's right out of the Hound of the Baskervilles. You know what? I've seen that face somewhere before.
Nonsense. You couldn't have.
Oh, well, here, press this in the doctor's book. Oh, a letter here. I see no reason why I should be endorsing maiden-form brasiers.
Here's some telegrams.
What day is this?
December 10th.
I need you to send a wire to Columbia Broadcasting for me. Let's see. You can reschedule my Christmas Eve broadcast from my New York studio, as I shall be returning east instead of proceeding to Hollywood. Stop. For my New Year's Eve guests, I will have as my guests Joshua Heifetz, Catherine Cornell, Schiaparelli, the Lutz, Dr. Alexis Korsakov, and Hail Selassie on shortwave from England. Whiteside.
Are you sure you'll be all right by Christmas, Sherry?
Of course I will. Send a cable to Mahatma Gandhi in Bombay, India. Dear Boo-Boo, schedule is changed. Can you meet me in Calcutta, July 12th? Dinner 8:30, Whiteside. Send a wire to the editor of the Atlantic Monthly. Do not worry, Stinky. Copy will arrive. Whiteside. Arturo Toscanini. Where is he?
I'll find him.
Counting on you, January 4th, Metropolitan Opera House, my annual benefit, Home for Paroled Convicts. As you know, this is a very worthy cause and very close to my heart. Schiaparelli, Martinelli, Rethberg, and Flagstad have all promised me personally to appear. Will you have quiet dinner with me and Ethel Barrymore afterwards? Whiteside. And then we need to spend one. If that's for Mrs. Stanley, tell them she's too drunk to talk.
Hello. What? Hollywood?
If it's Goldwyn, hang up.
Hello, Banjo.
Banjo, give me that phone.
Banjo, you old so-and-so. How are you,
Come
darling?
on, give me that phone.
Shut up, Sherry. Are you coming east, Banjo? I miss you. Oh, he's going to...
Stop dribbling and give me a phone!
In fact, he's screaming at me now. Here he is.
How are you, you old fonts behind? And what are you giving me for Christmas? Oh, what's news in Hollywood these days, Banjo, my boy? How's the picture coming? How are Wacko and Sloppo? No, I'm fine. Yes, I have the best horse doctor in town. What about you? Having any fun? Played any cribbage lately? What? Oh, don't take all his money, Banjo. Leave a little bit for me. You're what? You're having your portrait painted. By who? Milt Gross? Not really. No. From here I'm going on to New York, and then I'm off to Dartmouth for the drama festival. You wouldn't understand. Well, I can't waste any more time talking to Hollywood riffraff like you. Kiss Luella Parsons for me. Goodbye. He took $1,400 from Sam Goldwyn at cribbage last night, and Sam said, Banjo, I will never play garbage with you again.
What's all this about having his portrait painted?
No, Salvador Dali. That's all that face of his needs a surrealist to paint it. And what do you want now, Miss Bedfan?
It's your pills, one every 45 minutes.
Where were we?
Oh, here's a cable from that dear friend of yours, Lorraine Sheldon.
Let me see it.
Sherry, my poor sweet lamb, have been in Scotland on a shooting party with Lord and Lady Kennard, and only just heard of your poor sweet hip. I'm down in Surrey with Lord Bottomley, sailing Winsdale and Normandy, and cannot wait to see my poor sweet Sherry. Your blossom girl, Lorraine. In the words of the master, I may vomit.
Now, puss, must be bitter just because Lorraine is more beautiful than you are.
Lorraine Sheldon is a very fair example of that small but vicious circle you move in.
Pure sex jealousy if I ever saw it. Let me see the rest of those.
Lorraine Sheldon, Lord Bottomley? Ha, my Aunt Fanny.
Oh, it's from Destiny's Taunt.
Oh, England's little rover boy.
Yes. Dear baby's breath, why is this I hear about a hip fractured in some bordello brawl? Does this mean our Hollywood Christmas party is off? I finished the new play in Pago Pago, and it is superb. Myself and a ukulele leave Honolulu tomorrow in that order. By the way, the Sultan of Zanzibar wants to meet Ginger Rogers. Let's face it, Beverly Carlton.
Oh, he does travel, doesn't he? You know, it would be nice if the world revolved around Beverly Carlton for a change.
Hollywood next week. Why couldn't he stop by on his way to New York? Send him a cable. Beverly Carlton, Royal Hawaiian Hotel, Honolulu. I need... If these people intend to have their friends use the front door...
What do you want them to do? Use a rope ladder?
I will not have a lot of mildew pussbacks rushing in and out while I'm trying to get...
Hello, John.
There's nobody home. The Stanleys have been arrested for white slavery. Go away!
Hello, Mr. Whiteside. I'm Mr. Jefferson from the Massalia Journal.
Get rid of him.
I'm sorry, Mr. Whiteside has seen no one.
Really?
So will you please excuse us for today?
It seems to me like Mr. Whiteside is sitting up and taking notice.
I'm afraid he's not taking notice from Massalia Journal. Do you mind?
You know, if I'm going to be insulted like this, I'd like it to be by Mr. Whiteside himself. I never did like carbon copies.
Ah, touche, if I ever heard one. And in Massalia too, Maggie dear.
Will you please leave?
How about an interview, Mr. Whiteside?
I never give them. Go away.
But Mr. Whiteside, if I don't get this interview, I'll lose my job.
That would be quite all right with me.
Now, Mr. Whiteside, I know you don't mean that. You used to be a newspaper man yourself. You know how tough editors can be. Mine's the toughest one that ever lived.
You won't get around me that way. If you don't like it, get off of the paper.
Yes, but I happen to think it's a good paper. William Allen White could have gotten out of Emporia, but he didn't.
You have the effrontery in my presence to compare yourself with William Allen White?
Only in the sense that Allen White stayed in Emporia, and I want to stay here and say what I have to say.
Such as what?
Well, it sounds like an awful lot of hooey, Mr. Whiteside, but the Journal was my father's paper. It's a sentimental point with me. I'd like to carry on where he left off.
Ah, so then you own the paper?
That's right.
Then this terrifying editor, this dread journalistic apocalypse, is you yourself?
In a word, yes.
I see.
In the future, Sherry, let me know when you don't want to talk to people. I'll usher them right in.
Come over here, my boy. I suppose you've written that novel?
Well, actually, I've written that play.
Well, I don't want to read it. Ah, did these old eyes spy a box of goodies over there? Bring it to me, will
the heading of news. Practically the biggest news since the Depression, and I had to get started.
Oh, pecan, butternut,
Oh,
fudge.
my, Mr. Whiteside, you mustn't eat chocolate. It's very bad for you.
My great aunt Jennifer ate an entire box of candy every day of her life. She lived to be 102, and when she had been dead for 3 days, she looked better than you do now. Oh! Maybe she was right. So, you were saying, old fellow, you were about to say something?
Well, I can at least report to my readers that chivalry is not yet dead.
We won't discuss that. Well, now you've won me over with your pretty ways. What would you like to know?
Well, how about a discussion on murder? You're an authority on murder as fine art.
My dear boy, when I talk about murder, I get paid for it. I made more money off of the Steiner Gray case than the lawyers did, so don't expect to get it for nothing.
Okay, well, how long do you plan to stay in Massalia? Where are you off to? Things like that.
Very well. A, Massalia is a town of irresistible charm. B, I cannot wait to get out of it. And C, from here I'm going to Crockfield for my semi-annual visit to the Crockfield Home for Paroled Convicts, for which I've raised over $500,000 in the last 5 years. From there I go to New York. Have you ever been to Crockfield, Jefferson?
No, I haven't, but I always meant to.
As a newspaper man, you should instead of wasting your time here with me. It's only about 75 miles from here. Did you ever hear how Crockfield started, Jefferson?
No, I didn't.
Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. It is one of the most touching and endearing stories of our time. One misty St. Valentine's Eve, the year was 1901. A little old lady who had given her name to an Arab, Victoria, lay dying in Windsor Castle. Maud Adams had not yet caused every young heart to swell as she tripped across the stage as Peter Pan, and Irving Berlin had not yet written the first note of a ragtime brigadoon that would set the nation's feet a-tapping. And Ellis P. Crockfield was just emerging from the state penitentiary. Destitute and bitter, he wandered on this St. Valentine's Eve into a little church. But there was no godliness in his heart that night, no prayer upon his lips. In the faltering twilight, he made his way toward the poor box. With calloused fingers, he ripped open this poignant testimony of a simple people's faith, and greedily clutched at the few pitiful coins held therein. And then, a child's wavering treble broke the twilight stillness. "Please, Mr. Man," came a little girl's voice, "won't you be my Valentine?" Elliot P. Crockfield turned, and there before him stood a bewitching little creature of 5, her yellow curls cascading down like a golden Niagara, in her tiny outstretched hand, a humble Valentine. At that moment, a door opened in the heart of Elliot P. Crockfield, and in his mind was born an idea. 25 years later, 3,000 ruddy-cheeked convicts were gamboling on the front lawns of the Crockfield home, and frolicking in the depths of their own swimming pool, and broadcasting with their own symphony orchestra from their own radio station. Elliot P. Crockfield has long since gone to meet his maker, but the little girl of 5, now grown to lovely womanhood, is known as the Angel of Crockfield, for she is the wife of the warden. And in the main hall of Crockfield, between a Rembrandt and an El Greco, there hangs, in a simple little frame, a humble Valentine.
And in the men's washroom every Christmas Eve, the ghost of Elias P. Crockfield appears in one of the booths. Will you sign this, please?
This aging debutante, Jefferson, I retain in my employ, only because she is the sole support of her two-headed brother.
I understand, Mr. Whiteside. Well, thank you for your time. You've been very kind. By the way, I am a cribbage player if you need one while you're in town.
Ah, fine. How much can you afford to lose?
I usually win.
We won't discuss that. Come back for dinner at 8:30. We'll play three-handed with Elsie Dinsmore. Shelley! Matt! Matt, you're Colonel Beetlehouse. What are you doing
I
here?
explained personally because my little
Metz, darling, what a wonderful
It's
surprise.
excellent. Jefferson, you're in the presence of Dr. Adolf Metz, the world's greatest authority on insect life.
How do you do?
How do you do? Well, Sherry,
Metz, stop looking at me adoringly. Tell me why you are here.
you are sick, so I bring something to cheer you.
Jefferson, he lived for 2 years in a cave with nothing but plant lice. He reads 3 pages at the Encyclopedia Britannica. Don't you, my little hoodworm?
Please, Sherry, you embarrass me. I have brought you something to while away the hours. So I say to my students, boys and girls, I want to bring a present to my dear sick friend Sheridan Whiteside. So you know what we did? We built you a colony of Paraplaneta Americana, commonly known as the American cockroach. Behold, Sherry, Rook City. Inside are 10,000 cockroaches.
10,000? Sarah, what do you think of this?
And in 1 week, if all goes well, there will be 50,000.
If all goes well, what could go wrong? They're in there, aren't they?
Quiet, please.
You can watch them while they live out their entire lives. Look, there's the maternity hospital. They do everything humans do.
Well.
Please, Maggie, these are my cockroaches.
And with these earphones, you can listen to their mating calls. There are microphones there inside. Listen.
My, how long has this been going on?
Paraplaneta America. There are cockroaches in this house.
What? I beg your pardon, Mr. Whiteside. I do not know who this man is, but I will not stand here.
Then go upstairs. Oh, these must be my dinner guests. Bet, you'll stay for the day, of course.
Certainly.
Jefferson, stay for lunch? What? All right, Magnetel, no need two more. Betts, take your wonderful gift into the library, please. Come right on in, gentlemen. Come on in. Jefferson, these are the fruits of that humble Valentine. These men, now serving the final months of their prison terms, have chosen to enter the ivy-covered walls of Crockfield. They've come here today to learn from me a little of its history. Gentlemen, I envy you your great adventure. You're Michelson, aren't you, the butcher shop murders?
Yes, sir.
I thought I recognized you. And the other one, Jefferson, is Henderson, the hatchet fiend. Always chop them up in a salad bowl, remember?
Oh, yes. Mr. Whiteside, lunch is ready.
All right, thank you. Go right on in, gentlemen.
Can I help you?
Oh, thank you, thank you. We'll be having chicken livers tetrazzini and cherries jubilee for dessert.
All right.
I hope every little tummy is equipped with gastric juices. Oh, John.
Yes, sir.
Close the doors. I don't want a lot of people prying on their betters. I was dreaming of Lillian Russell and I wake to find you.
It's medicine, Mr. Whiteside.
What time is it?
Oh, it's about 6:30.
Where's Miss Cutler?
She went out.
Out?
With Mr. Jefferson.
Mind if I turn the lights up, Mr. Whiteside?
Oh, go right ahead, John.
Oh, by the way, sir's made something for you, sir. Minute special.
She has? Where is she? My souffle queen!
Here I am, Mr. Whiteside.
She walks in beauty like the night, and in those deft hands there is the art of a Michelangelo. Let me taste the new cookie. Oh, poetry, sheer poetry.
I put a touch of that in the dough. Do you like it?
Ambrosia.
And I got you Terrapin Maryland.
I have known but 3 great cooks in my lifetime. The Khedive of Egypt was one. My great aunt Jennifer was another. And the third, Sarah, is you.
Oh, Mr. Whiteside.
Tell me, how would you like to come to New York and work for me? You and Johnny.
Why, Mr. Whiteside?
Sarah!
Why, it kind of takes my breath away.
We'd love to, sir, but what would we say to the Stanleys?
Just goodbye.
They'd be awfully mad, but they've been very kind to us.
Well, if they're ever in New York, they can stop by for dinner, if I'm not in town. Now run along and think this over, and this is our secret, just between us. Oh, and put plenty of sherry in that terrapin. Goodness. Miss Green! Miss Green!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What have you got there anyway, a sailor?
I was just washing my hands.
What time did Miss Cutler go out? sex life.
Dear Mr. Whiteside, may I show you a few mementos of the past?
Why, certainly, Miss Stanley. Miss Stanley, have we met somewhere before?
Oh, no. I would remember. It would have been one of my cherished memories. Like these. Look, here I am with my first sweetheart, under our lovely beechwood tree. I was 8, and he was 10. I've never forgotten him. What wonderful times we had. What a wonderful...
But I tell you, I'm going to go down there.
Someone's coming. I'll come back.
Mr. Whiteside, I want to talk to you for a minute. I don't care whether or not you're busy. I've stood all that I am going to stand.
Indeed.
I've just received a bill from the phone company for $784. Oklahoma City, Calcutta, Australia, Hollywood, Rome, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York. Now I realize, Mr. Whiteside, that you are a man of distinguished
Well,
letters.
yes, of course we both do.
But in the past week, we've not been able to call our souls our own. We've not had a meal in the dining room once, and I have to tiptoe out of my own house in the morning. Oh, I come home to find convicts sitting at my dinner table, butcher shop murderers, a man putting cockroaches in my kitchen.
They've just escaped, Ernest.
Oh, that's not the point. I went into my bathroom today, and I bumped into 22 Chinese students that you invited here, Mr. Whiteside. I tell you, I won't stand for it, no matter who you are.
Have you quite finished?
No, I have not. I went down in the cellar this morning and almost tripped over that octopus that William Beebe sent you. I tell you, Mr. Whiteside, I won't stand for it. I want you to leave this house and find a hotel.
Stop calling me Daisy.
That's all I have to say, Mr. Whiteside.
And quite enough, I should think. Bear in mind, you, Mr. Stanley, I am not a willing guest in this house. I've been informed by my doctor that I must remain quiet for at least another 10 days, after which I will be out of here so fast the wind will knock you over, I hope. If, however, you should insist on my leaving early, thereby causing me to suffer a relapse, I shall sue you for every additional day I am held inactive, which will amount to, I assure you, a very tiny sum.
This is outrageous,
As
outrageous.
to the details of your petty complaints, those 22 Chinese students came straight from the White House, where I can assure you they used the bathroom too.
No, Mr. Whiteside, my husband didn't mean to...
Yes, I did. I meant every word of it.
There's only one point you make in which I do see some slight justice. I do not expect you to pay for my telephone calls. And I shall see to it that restitution is made. Can you provide me with the exact amount?
I certainly can, and I certainly will.
Good. I shall instruct my lawyers to deduct it from the $150,000 I'm suing you for.
Now, Ernest...
And I'll beg you not to trip over that octopus which once belonged to Chauncey Depew.
No, Ernest, you mustn't get excited. Your heart condition, remember?
Give me the Massalia Journal, please. Hello, Journal? Has Mr. Jefferson come in yet? He hasn't, eh? No message. Come here, you two. Come on. I'm not going to bite. Now, listen. I am by nature a very charming and gracious person. If I peer at it, it is on the side of kindness and amiability. Now, I've been observing you two for this past week, and I've come to the conclusion that you are extremely likable young people. Now, when we first met, I was definitely unpleasant to you. For that I am sorry, and I'd appreciate it if in the future you would not treat me like something out of Edgar Allan Poe. How do you like my new tie?
Well, thank you, Mr. Whiteside. This makes things much more pleasant. And I think your tie is very pretty.
Now that we're on speaking terms, Mr. Whiteside, I don't mind telling you that I've been admiring all your ties.
Do you like this one?
Of course.
It's yours.
Thanks.
Really, this curious legend that I'm a difficult person is pure fabrication. Oh, ice skating, were you? I used to cut figure eights myself, arm in arm with Betsy Ross and waving the flag behind us.
Well, it was wonderful on the ice today, Mr. Whiteside, and Miss Cutler was there too.
Maggie, ice skating?
Make Maggie was wonderful. I got a marvelous picture of her.
Was she still there when you left?
I think so.
Yes, she was.
Mind if I take a picture of you, Mr. Whiteside? I'd love to have one.
Very well. Would you like my profile?
Uh-oh, Mr. Whiteside, you are done for. My brother is a camera fiend.
Thank you, Mr. Whiteside. I got a great one. Hi, Miss Butler.
Hello there. Good evening, Sherry. Really, Sherry, you have this place looking like an old parrot's cage. Did you nap while I was out? What's the matter, dear? Cat run away with your tongue?
Don't look at me with those great cow eyes, you sex-ridden hag. Where have you been all afternoon? Out alley-catting around with Bert Jefferson?
Sherry, Bert went to his play this afternoon. It's superb. It isn't just a play written by a newspaper man, it's superb. Will you read it tonight? It just cries out for Cornell. Will you send it to her, Sherry? And will you read it tonight?
No, I will not read tonight or any other night. And while we're on the subject of Mr. Jefferson, you might ask if you would like to pay your salary, since he seems to take up all your time.
Oh, come now, Sherry. It isn't as bad as that.
I have not been able to reach you, not knowing what haylofts you frequent.
Stop behaving like a spoiled child, Sherry.
Don't take that patronizing tone with me, you flea-bitten Cleopatra. I am sick and tired of you sneaking out like some lovesick high school girl every time my back is turned.
Well, Sherry, I'm afraid you hit the nail on the head.
Stop acting like Zazu Pitts and explain yourself.
I'll make it quick, Sherry. I'm in love.
Nonsense, this is merely delayed puberty.
I'm afraid this is it. You're going to lose a very excellent secretary.
You are out of your mind.
Yes, I think I am a little. But I'm a girl who's waited a long time for this to happen, and now it has. Mr. Jefferson doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to try my darndest to marry him.
Is that all?
Yes, except that, well, I suppose this is what might be called my resignation, as soon as you've got someone else.
Now listen, Maggie. We've been together for a long time now. You're indispensable to me. But I think I'm unselfish enough not to let that stand in the way where your happiness is concerned. Because whether you know it or not, I have a deep affection for you.
I know that, Sherry.
That being the case, I will not stand by and allow you to make a fool out of yourself.
I'm not, Sherry!
You are, my dear! You're behaving like a Booth Tarkington heroine. It's unbelievable. I can't believe that a girl who for the past 10 years has had the best of the world served up to her on a silver platter. I can't believe that is anything but a kind of temporary insanity when you are swept off of your feet by a second-rate small-town newspaper man.
Sherry, I can't explain what's happened. I only know that it's so. It's hard for me to believe, too. Here I am, a hard-bitten old cynic behaving like True Story magazine and liking it, discovering the moon and ice skating. I keep laughing to myself all the time about it, but there it is, Sherry. What can I do? I'm in love.
We are leaving here tomorrow. Hip or no hip, we are leaving tomorrow. I don't care if I crack through the other one. I'll pull you out of this, Miss Stardust. I'll get the ants out of those moonlit pants.
It's no good, Sherry. It's no good. I'll be back on the next streamlined train.
It's unbelievable! Can you see yourself, the wife of the editor of the Massalia Journal, having an evening at home for Mr. and Mrs. Stanley, Mr. and Mrs. Poopface, and the members of the Book of the Month Club?
Sherry, I've had 10 years of the great figures of our time, and don't think I'm not grateful to you for it. I loved every minute of it. They've been wonderful years, Sherry, gay and stimulating. I don't think anyone has had the fun that we've had. But a girl can't laugh all the time, Sherry. There comes a time when she was... Bert Jefferson. You don't know Bert, Sherry. He's gentle and unassuming, and, well, I love him, that's all.
I remain completely unconvinced. You're drugging yourself into this Joan Crawford fantasy, and before you become completely anesthetized, I will do everything in my power to bring you to your senses.
Now you listen to me, Whiteside. I know you. Lay off. I know what a devil you can be. I've seen you do it to other people, but don't you dare do it to me. Don't drug yourself into the idea that all you're thinking of is my happiness. You're thinking of yourself a little bit too. And all those months of breaking in somebody new. I've seen you in a passion before when your life has been disrupted. When you couldn't dine in Calcutta on July 12th with Boo-Boo. Well, that's too bad, but there it is. I'm going to marry Bert if he'll have me, and don't you dare try any of your tricks. I'm onto every one of them. So lay off. That's my message to you.
Jefferson.
Rep, Jamie, rep! Go!
That's it. That's the answer. That's it. Hello, long distance, please. I need to make a transatlantic call. Hello, transatlantic operator? Yes, I need to speak to Miss Lorraine Sheldon. That's S-H-E-L-D-O-N. Yes, she's on the Normandy and sailed from Southampton day before yesterday. I need to speak to her as soon as possible. So will it take long? All right. Now, my name is Whiteside. Thank you.
Hello, Doctor. Good evening, John. Well, good evening, Mr. Whiteside.
Go away, Doctor. Come back tomorrow. I'm busy.
Now, what could be the best news I could possibly bring you?
You have rabies.
Oh, no, Mr. Whiteside. You are a well man. You can get up and walk now. You can leave here tomorrow.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, sir, I took another look at those x-rays this afternoon, and do you know what? I've been looking at the wrong x-rays. I've been looking at old Miss Moffat's x-rays. You, on the other hand, are perfectly, absolutely well.
Lower your voice, will you?
What's the matter, aren't you pleased?
Delighted, naturally. This is an unexpected bit of news. Comes at a difficult moment. Dr. Bradley, I've been reading your book lately. 40 Years
In Ohio Doc.
Yes. I consider it extremely close to being one of the great literary contributions of our time.
Mr. Whiteside!
So strongly do I feel about it, Dr. Bradley, that I have a little proposition for you. Now, here and there, the book is a little rough, a little uneven. What I'd like to do is stay here at Massalia and work with you on it.
Oh, Mr. Whiteside, I'd be so terribly honored.
But there's just one difficulty. My lecture bureaus and my radio sponsors would find out that I'm well. They would insist on my fulfilling my contracts, and I would be forced to leave Massalia. Therefore, we cannot tell anyone at all, that I'm well.
Yes, I see, of course.
Not even Miss Cutler, you understand?
No, I won't, not a soul, not even my wife.
That's fine.
Mr. Whiteside, when do we get to work on my book? Tonight, I've just got this one last patient who's dying, and then I'll be perfectly free.
Well, tomorrow morning, will you? This is a personal call.
Yes, tomorrow morning it is. Oh, you
Yes.
made me very proud. Mr.
Yes, very
Whiteside.
proud.
Thank you
Very
so much.
Yes,
Goodbye.
you're welcome. Goodbye. Good God. Hello. Yes. This is Mr. Whiteside. Put them through. Hello, is this my blossom girl? How are you, my lovely? Now, yes, I'm still stuck out here. Now listen, Lorraine. When does your boat land in New York? Tuesday? That's fine. Now listen, my pet, I have some great news for you. I've discovered a wonderful play with an enchanting part in it for you. Of course, Cornell would give her eye teeth to play it, but I think I can get it for you. No, now listen. The author, he's a young newspaper man here in town. His name is Bert Jefferson. Now, he's young and attractive and just your dish, my dear. It just takes a little bit of doing to get the part. But I think if you get on train and hurry out here, I think you can get it if you play your cards right. Yes, that's right. And listen, don't send me any messages. Just get on a train and arrive. No, don't thank me, my dear. That's perfectly all right. have a wonderful trip and hurry out here. All right, goodbye, Blossom. Hello, Miss Breen. God, you're looking radiant this evening.
Sherry, I'm sorry for what I said before. I'm afraid I was a little unjust.
That's all right, Maggie. We all lose our tempers every now and then.
I promised to have dinner with Bert tonight and then go to a movie. But we'll come back here instead and play cribbage with you.
That's fine.
See you soon, Cherry dear. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, I's just a little rabbit in the sunshine. I's just a little rabbit in the rain. I like to nibble on my lettuce leaf all morning. Yap-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, yap-da-da-da-da-da. Yes!
That's all there are, Miss Cutler. They're all under the tree.
Thank you, John. My, I've never seen so many presents. I can hardly wait to see what's in them.
What did Mr. Whiteside up with, Miss Cutler?
Well, John, you see, Christmas is Mr. Whiteside's personal property. He invented it and it belongs to him. First thing tomorrow morning, Mr. Whiteside will open each and every present and there will be the goddamnedest fuss you ever saw.
My, look who he got presents from. Shirley Temple, William Langfeld, Billy Rose, Ethel Waters, Somerset Maugham. I can hardly wait for tomorrow. And Mr. Whiteside's tree is so beautiful, too. Mr. and Mrs. Stanley have theirs put in their bedroom, you know. They can hardly undress at night.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Hello, Maggie. Merry Christmas, Sam.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Jefferson.
Say, business is good, isn't it? It's amazing what a little quiet black on the weekly radio hour can get you these days. What did his sponsors give him?
Full year's supply of their product, cream of mush.
Well, they'll give it right back to them over the air, I'm sure.
Well, wait until you hear tonight's broadcast, old fellow. It's so sticky I haven't been able to get it off my fingers since I copied it.
I'll bet. Look, I have to come clean. Under the influence of God knows what, I've just bought you a Christmas gift.
Why, Mr. Jefferson, sir?
Only before I throw away my hard-earned money, I'd like for you to come downtown and take a look at it.
Why, Bert, this is very sweet of you. I'm quite touched. What is it? I can't wait.
I got you a 2-year subscription to Pick, Click, Look, and Listen. Say, what do you think I'm going to tell you? Go tell Mr. Whiteside that we're going downtown.
All right. Sherry, I'm going out for a while with Horace Greeley. I won't be gone long.
Well, Mr. Whiteside. How about a game of cribbage after your broadcast tonight?
No, I will not play cribbage with you, Klondike Harry. And where are you off to now, Madam Butterfly?
I'm being given a Christmas present. Anything you want done downtown.
Yes, bring baby back a lollipop. And what are you giving me for Christmas, Jefferson? I've enriched your feeble life beyond your capacity to repay me.
Yes, that's what I figured. So I've got you nothing.
I see. Well, I was going to give you my old trust, but now I shan't. Maggie, dear, what time is this radio event coming?
About 6:30. I'll be here. You've got to cut, Sherry. You're 6 minutes over. Oh, and there's Wyatt here from Beverly Carlton. He doesn't know what train he gets out of Chicago, but he'll be here sometime this evening.
Oh, good. Is he staying overnight?
No, he has to get right out again. He's sailing Friday on the Queen Mary.
Hey, do you think I could get a look at him while he's here? Beverly Carlton used to be one of my greatest heroes.
Used to be, you ink-stained hack. Beverly Carlton is the single greatest talent in English theater today. Take this illiterate numbskull out of my sight, Maggie, and don't bring him back.
Yes, Mr. Whiteside, I won't come back till Beverly Carlton arrives.
Where are we going, sir? I want to know what it is that you bought me. I'm like a 10-year-old kid.
You know, you look like a 10-year-old kid right now at that, Maggie.
Hello? Give me the Mansion House Hotel, please. No, I don't know the number. Hello, Mansion House? Can you tell me, has Miss Lorraine Sheldon arrived yet from England? She hasn't. What do you want coming into a room like that? Why don't you knock before you come in?
Well, I wasn't coming in, I was coming out.
Miss Green, you're obviously in this room. That is true, isn't it?
Well, it is, but...
Therefore, you came in. Hereafter, please knock.
Mr. Whiteside, some expressmen came around back with the package. I told them to come around to this end.
Thank you, John. Don't stand there, Miss Green. You look like a frozen custard. Go away. Who's it from, John?
Admiral Richard E. Byrd. Say.
Bring it right up here. Why, they're penguins! 4 penguins! Oh, hello, my pretties!
Well, the directions for feeding them around the top. 2 of them slats down there and this.
To be fed only eels, whale blubber, and cracked lobster. Huh.
Well, they got Coca-Cola this morning, and they seem to like it.
Hello, hello! Ah, they make the most entrancing companions, John. I want them put right in the library with me to put them right in there.
Okay, this way.
Oh, and you better tell Sarah to order a couple of dozen lobster.
Yes, sir.
I don't suppose that there's any whale blubber in this town.
Good evening.
Ah, yes, there is.
Door was just open.
Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas, Doctor. Merry Christmas. Tell me, Doctor, do you happen to know if eels are in season? How's that? Never mind, I was a fool to ask you.
Mr. Whiteside, open the 2 slats in the crates. They just seem so crowded in there.
Thank you, John.
Mr. Whiteside.
Goodbye, Doctor. I'm sorry you had to come in now. I have to do my yogi exercises.
But Mr. Whiteside, it's been a week now. You know my book? What about my book? When are you going to start?
Oh, good evening, Dr. Bradley. Excuse me, Doctor. Perhaps I'm not well, but when I opened the door just now, I thought I saw a penguin with a thermometer in its mouth.
What? What's that? Have those penguins gotten out of their crate?
Penguins? Did you say penguins?
Yes. Dr. Bradley, will you go in there and capture them, please, and put them back in the crate? There are 4 of them.
Capture penguins, yes.
Yes, and Miss Priest, will you entertain them, please, until I come in?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stanley's Christmas tree just fell on him. He's got a huge bump on his forehead.
Oh, isn't that too bad? Well, go on, Doctor. Go on, Miss Priest.
Hello, Mr. Whiteside.
Hello, Richard, my boy.
Mr. Whiteside, will you have some time later?
I don't know, Doctor. I'm busy now.
Suppose I wait. I'll just wait a little while.
Dr. Bradley is the greatest living argument for mercy killings. Well, Richard, would you like a candid camera shot of my left nostril this evening?
I'm afraid I'm all stocked up on those, Mr. Whiteside. Do you have a minute to take a look at some new ones I've taken?
I certainly have. Why, these are splendid, Richard. There's real artistry in them. They're as good as anything by Margaret Burt White. I like all the things you've shown me. This is the essence of photographic journalism.
I didn't know they were that good. I just like to take pictures, that's all.
Richard, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. You're not just a kid fooling around with the camera anymore. These are good. This is what you ought to do. You ought to do some of those things you were telling me about. Just get on training. Get off wherever it stops. Galveston, Mexico, Singapore, anywhere. And take pictures. Millions of them. Wonderful ones, terrible ones, anything.
Say, wouldn't I like to, though? If I could do that, I'd be the happiest guy in the world.
Well, why not? If I was your age, I'd be off like a shot.
Well, you know why. Dad.
Richard, do you really want to do this more than anything else in the world?
I certainly do.
Then do it.
Oh, hello, Richard. Good afternoon, Mr. Whiteside.
Hello, my lovely. So, Richard, I'm afraid it's up to you.
I guess so. Well, you've been swell, Mr. Whiteside, and I'll never forget it.
Righto, Richard.
June, are you coming upstairs later?
In a few minutes, Richard.
Well, knock on my door, will you? I want to talk to you.
Sure. Mr. Whiteside.
June, my lamb, you were too young to remember the Elwell murders, weren't you? Completely fascinating. I have about 5 favorite murders, and the Elbow case is one of them. Would you like to hear about it?
Well, actually, Mr. Whiteside, I kind of wanted to talk to you, just for a few minutes. It's really important, though.
Why, certainly. I take it this is about your young Lothario at the factory?
Yes. I just can't seem to make Father understand. It's like talking to a blank wall. He won't meet him. He won't even talk about it. Mr. Whiteside, Sandy and I love each other, and I just don't know where to turn to.
My dear, I would like to meet this young man. I'd like to see him for myself.
Well, would you, Mr. Whiteside? He's in the kitchen. I could get him.
Oh, good. Bring him right in.
Okay. Mr. Whiteside, Sandy is a very sensitive boy, and you will be nice to him, won't you?
God damn it, June. What do you learn? I'm always kind and courteous. Bring this idiot in.
Sandy! Sandy! Here he is, Mr. Whiteside. This is Sandy.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do, young man? I've been hearing a good deal about you from June this past week. It seems, if I've been correctly informed, that you two babes in the woods have quietly gone out of your minds.
There's another name for it. It's called love.
Well, you've come to the right place then. Dr. Sheridan Whiteside. Hearts mended, brakes relined, hamburgers. Go right on ahead.
Well, Mr. Whiteside, if June has told you anything, you'd probably understand the jam work. You see, I work for a labor union, and I've been organizing the men of Mr. Stanley's factory for a little while, and you know, he's pretty sore about it.
I'll bet.
Did June tell you that?
She did.
Oh, well, that being the case, Mr. Whiteside, I don't really think I have the right to try to influence June. If we get married, then that'll mean a definite break with her family, and you know, I don't really want to bring that about. But the trouble is, Mr. Stanley's so stubborn about it, so arbitrary. I didn't do this just to spite him. We fell in love with each other. But Mr. Stanley acts for one big plot, like John L. Lewis sitting here, just to marry his daughter.
He's tried to fire Sandy out of the factory twice, but he couldn't on account of the Wagner Act. Thank God.
Yes, and he thinks I wrote that also.
If only he would let me talk to him about it.
Well, we've gone over that, Jude. Anyways, I got word I'm leaving Chicago. I'll have to go into the Frisco from there. So, you see the jam?
Mr. Whiteside, Sandy is leaving tonight. He'll probably be gone a year. Oh, we have to do something now.
My dear, this is absurdly simple. Really, it's no problem at all. Now, to my jaundiced eye, what needs to be done is just... No, that's not a very viable option, is it? What's... Oh, damn. Excuse me, will you? Hello? I'm sorry, it's a long-distance call. Yes, put them through. Walt Disney? Oh, it's Walt Disney from Hollywood. Put him through, please. Hello, Walt. How's my little dash of genius? Oh, yes, I'd hoped you would. How'd you know I was here? Now I see. Yes, I'm listening. Now? 10 seconds more? Oh, Mr. Disney calls me every Christmas. What? Oh, yes, I hear it, Walt. Oh, it sounds just like static. Oh, June. Hello? Merry Christmas, old man, and thank you. So, tell me, what's news of Hollywood these days? Who's in Lana Turner's sweater lately? I see. Well, Merry Christmas, and by the way, don't worry about Fantasia. That wasn't your fault. Beethoven hasn't written a hit in years. Goodbye. Do you know what that was you just listened to? That was the voice of Donald Duck.
Not really.
Mr. Disney calls me every Christmas, just so I can hear it. 2 years ago, I was walking on the bottom of the ocean in a diving suit with William Bean, but he got me. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. June, I have an unerring instinct about people. I have never been wrong. That's why I want to meet him. Now, my own opinion is you two will be very happy together. Whatever his beliefs are, he's certainly entitled to them, and you shouldn't let that stand in your way. Really, as I see it, there's no problem at all. Stripped of all its externals, what does it come down to? Your father. The possibility of making him unhappy.
Very unhappy, Mr. Whiteside.
But that isn't the point. Suppose your parents are unhappy. It's good for them. Develops their character. Look at me. I left home at the age of 4 and I haven't been back since. They hear me on the radio, that's good enough for them.
So, your advice is to go for it, Mr. Whiteside?
It is indeed. Marry him tonight, June.
Well,
accident?
No, Mr. Whiteside. I'm taking boxing lessons.
Mr. Whiteside, I've been waiting all day to see you, to give you this.
Why, Miss Stanley, a Christmas gift for me?
It's only a trifle, but I wanted you to have it. It's a picture of me, taken a few years ago. But don't open it till the stroke of midnight. Will you? Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside.
Merry Christmas, Miss Stanley. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Is this the Stanley residence? Would you tell Mr. Whiteside that Lorraine Sheldon should have seen it?
Lorraine, my blossom girl!
Sherry, my sweet. Oh, look at that poor, sweet, tortured face. Let me kiss it. Sherry, how drawn you are. I want to cry.
All right, you've made a very nice entrance, dear. Now relax.
Oh, but darling, I've been so worried, and now seeing you in that chair.
This chair fits my fanny as nothing else ever has. I feel better than I have in years. Right now, my only concern is for news of the outside world. So, have a seat and tell me everything. How are you, my dear?
Darling, I'm so relieved. You look wonderful, better than I've ever seen you. Do I look a wreck? I just dashed to New York, didn't know a thing about Christmas. Had Carnegie and had my hair done and got right on the train. And the Normandy coming back was simply fun, you know, but absolutely exhausting. Oh, Cary Grant, Jacques Whitney, Dorothy Frasso, you know the time. It was too exhausting. And London before that was absolutely magnificent. Oh, I just never got to bed at all. I have so much to tell you, I don't know where to start.
Well, start with the dirt first, dear. That's what I want to hear.
Well, Sybil Cartwright was thrown right out of Ciro's. It was the night before I left. She was wearing one of those new cellophane dresses. You could absolutely see Trafalgar Square. Oh, and Sarah Montgomery, you know, was suing his mother for disorderly conduct.
Mother?
Yes, it shocked everyone. Oh, and Anthony Eden tells me he's going to be on your New Year's broadcast. And Beatrice Lilly, you know her. Yes, she's taking off 25 pounds and sending them to you by parcel post. She thinks you need them.
Tell her to pack it in ice. Now, come, dear, what about you? What about your love life? I don't believe for one moment you never got to bed at all, if you'll pardon the expression.
Sherry.
What about that splendid bit of English mutton, Lord Bottomley? Haven't you hooked him yet?
Oh, well, Cedric and I are just very dear friends, that's all.
Now, Lorraine, this is Sherry. Don't try to pull the bedclothes over my eyes. Don't tell me you would like me, Lady Bottomley, with 100,000 pounds a year and 12 castles. By the way, has he had his teeth fixed yet? Every time I order Roquefort cheese, I think of those teeth.
Oh, Sherry. Well, Cedric may not be brilliant, but he is rather sweet, poor lamb, and he's very fond of me, and he represents an English way of living I quite like. Surrey and London for the season, shooting box in Scotland, and that lovely old castle in Wales. You've seen it, you know what I mean.
I do indeed.
And besides, if I can marry Cedric, I don't know why I shouldn't. Shall I tell you something? From something he said to me before I left, I think he may be coming around to it. Don't be surprised if I am Lady Bottomley before very long.
Lady Bottomley? Won't Kansas City be surprised? However, I shall be a flower girl and give the groom an iron toothpick as a wedding present. Now come here, let's hear some more of your skullduggery.
Let's see.
Mr. Whiteside.
No, I'm busy now. Go away.
Who was that man?
He's fixing the plumbing. Now come on, dear, what's the news?
Oh, Sherry, what about this play? I've been so excited I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I came all the way from England, even on Christmas. Where is it? When can I read it?
Well, all right. Now here's the situation. That young newspaper man, his name is Bert Jefferson. Now he gave me the play with the understanding that I would send it to Catherine Cornell. Now it's a fabulous part, and God knows I feel disloyal to kids.
Sherry.
Now I've done this much. The rest is up to you. He's young and attractive, and just how you go about persuading him, you probably know more about than I do.
Well, does he know I'm coming, Mr. Jefferson, I mean?
No, you're just down here visiting me. He'll come in, you'll meet him, and that's that. Get take you to dinner and then work around to the plate. Good God, I shouldn't have to tell you how to do these things. How did you get all those other cards?
Sherry.
Well, I better go back and get to something more attractive. I just dumped my things and got over here as soon as I could.
Sherry, you're wonderful.
Yes, go on and get into your working clothes, and then come back here and spend Christmas Eve with shooting. By the way, who do you think is paying me a flying visit tonight? None other than your old friend and co-star Beverly Carlton.
Beverly! I thought he was off being glamorous again on a tramp steamer.
Now, dear, mustn't be bitter just because he got better notices than you did.
Don't be ridiculous. I never read the notices. It's just I wouldn't care to act with him again. That's all. He's not staying here, oh, I hope not.
Temper. No, he's not. Say, where'd you get that diamond clip there, dear? That's a new bit of loot, isn't it?
Have you seen this yet? Cedric gave it to me for his mother's birthday. She was simply furious. Well, I have a taxi waiting on the side, so I'll see you later, dear.
Sherry, I've just been given the most beautiful.
Hello, Meg. I knew you'd be around here somewhere. How are you, my dear?
Santa's been at work, my pet. Blossom Girl just dropped in out of the blue and surprised us.
Hello, Lorraine.
Who's that out there? Bert? Come on in, Bert. Lorraine, this is Bert Jefferson, young newspaper man. Miss Lorraine Shelton. How do you do?
How do you do, Mr. Jefferson, is it?
That's right, pet.
Why, Mr. Jefferson, you don't look like a newspaper man. You don't look like a newspaper man at all.
Really? I thought I had it written all over me in neon lights.
No! I was hippie or an explorer or something. They have that same sort of dash about them. Why, I'm just enchanted with this town of yours. Have you lived here all your life?
Practically.
If you wish to hear the details of his life story, kindly do so on your own time. Maggie and I have work to do. On your way, Blossom. Go on, Jefferson. Go on.
The world's rudest man, isn't he? Well, I have a taxi right outside. How about I drop you?
Well, actually, I have my own car. But suppose I drop you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I'll see you later, Sherry. Goodbye, Maggie.
Goodbye, Maggie. I'm invited back for dinner, am I not?
Yes, at Christmas I always feed the needy. Now please stop boozing. Get out.
Well, I want to hear all about this little town of yours, Mr. Jefferson. I want to hear a good deal about you, too.
Well, is there a copy of that broadcast around here somewhere? How much did you say they want out? Is 6 minutes?
Oh, yes, that's right. 6 minutes. She's looking very well, isn't she?
What's that, who?
Countess Deep Pushover. Quite a surprise, wasn't it? Her dropping by.
Oh, it was indeed. Now, come on, Maggie. Get to work. Get to work.
She must have dashed from New York like a dose of salt. How long is she going to stay?
What? No, not a couple of days. At this joyous season of the year when in the hearts of men, I can't cut that.
Isn't it curious? There was Lorraine, snug as a bug in somebody's bed on the Norman.
Ere the Yuletide season pass, I think it fitting to
Now,
once.
Sherry, here we will talk a bit.
Now listen, Maggie. Just because a friend of mine happens to stop by for Christmas doesn't mean that anything is wrong at all. I have a feeling that that's Beverly out there. Go and get that, will you? Go on. Run. Run.
Meg, my darling, a large, moist, incestuous kiss for my Maggie.
Come in here, you Piccadilly pen pusher, and gaze upon a soul in agony.
Don't tell me how you are, Sherry dear. I want none of the tiresome details. I have just a little time, so the conversation will be entirely about me, and I shall love it. Shall I tell you how I glitter through the sound seas like a silver scimitar? Or would you rather hear how I frolic through Zambesia, raping the Major General's daughter and finishing a 3-act play at the same time? Magpie, darling, you are the moon flower of my middle age, and I love you so very much. Say something tender to me.
Beverly, darling.
That's my girl. Now then, Sherry, without going into mountainous waves of self-pity, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine, you presumptuous cockney. How is your trip? Wonderful?
Fabulous. I did a fantastic amount of work. By the way, did I glimpse that little boudoir butterfly, the Sheldon in the motor coach as I came up the driveway?
You did indeed. She's paying us a Christmas visit.
Dear girl. They do say she set fire to her mother, you know, but I don't believe one. Sherry, my evil one. Not only have I written the last one, and an operetta that frightens me. It's so good. I will play it for 8 weeks in London and 6 in New York. That's all. No matinees. Then I'm off to the Grecian islands. Magpie, why don't you come with me? Why don't you desert this cannonball o'clock and come with me?
Be careful, Beverly, darling. You're catching me at a good moment.
Tell me, Beverly, how was Hollywood? How long did you stay there?
3 unbelievable days. I saw everyone from Adrian to Xanu. They came, poor dears, as to a shrine. I was insufferably charming and ruthlessly firm in refusing $7 million for only 2 minutes' work.
Oh, what about Banjo? Did you see my wonderful Banjo in Hollywood?
I did. He threw a dinner for me. I arrived in white tie and tails, only to be met by 2 big butlers, who quietly proceeded to take my trousers off. I was then ushered in my 11 silk drawers into a room full of Norma Shearer, Claudette Colbert, and Aldous Huxley. Dear, sweet, incomparable Banjo.
Oh, I'll never forget that time in Antibes when Banjo put a microphone into Lorraine's mattress and then played the record the next day at lunch.
I remember it indeed. Lorraine left Antibes by the next boat.
Oh, I wish Banjo were here now.
What's the matter, Maggie? Is Lorraine being her own sweet, sick-making self?
You wouldn't take her to the Grecian islands with you, would you, Beverly? Just for me?
Now, Maggie, Lorraine is a very gracious person who has gallantly given up her own Christmas to spend it with me.
Oh, and I knew I had a bit of dirt for us all to nibble on.
Oh, Mr. Whiteside.
No, not now! Go away!
Have you kidnapped someone, Sherry?
Yes, that was Charlie Moss. Now, come on, is this something juicy?
Juicy as a pomegranate. It's the latest report from London on the winter maneuvers of Miss Lorraine Sheldon against the left flank. In fact, all flanks of Lord Cedric Bach. Listen, Lorraine has just left us in a cloud of Sunel number 5. Since September, in her relentless pursuit of his lordship, she has paused only to change girdles and check for oil. She has chased him, panting, from castle to castle, till he finally took refuge for several weekends in the gentleman's lavatory of the House of Lords. Practically no one is betting on the Derby this year. We are all making book on Lorraine. She is sailing tomorrow on the Normandy, but would return on the Atlantic Clipper if Bot only so much as belches in her direction. Have you ever met Lord Bottomley, Magpie, dear?
No, I haven't.
No, not very good shooting today, lost it. Only 6 partridges, 4 grouse, and the Duke of Sutherland.
My God, that's Bottomley to its very bottom.
Ripping debate in the house today. Old Basil spoke for 3 hours, drop dead at the end of it. Ripping.
You're making it up, Beverly. No one sounds like
Oh,
that.
it's so good, it's uncanny. Oh, damn it, Beverly, why can't you stay longer? I never see enough of you ungrateful moppet.
Sherry, I can only tell you that my love for you is so great that I changed trains in Chicago just to spend 10 minutes with you and wish you a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, my lad, my little Magpie.
Beverly.
Oh, now I have just time for one magnificent number. It'll be the second number from my new review.
Oh, damn, get rid of them, will you, Maggie?
Hello? Oh, hello, Bert. Oh, one moment. Beverly, would you see a newspaperman for just 2 minutes? I kind of promised him.
I won't have time, not unless he's under the piano.
Oh, wait a minute. Would you see him for just 1 minute before the train goes?
Sure.
Bert, go to the station and wait for him there. He'll be there in a few minutes. Bye.
The stalls are impatient, Beverly. Let's hear this second-rate masterpiece. nonsense, Maggie.
Au revoir, Sherry. Merry Christmas.
Beverly, Maggie, what the hell are you doing? I want to talk to Beverly.
Now you can kiss Beverly in London on July 12th.
I will not be rushed out here like a baby back
Oh, Sherry. Maggie, come give me a kiss.
Oh, Beverly, I want 1 minute. I must have it. We'll make the train station's a minute and a half from here.
Well, what is it, Maggie?
Go away! I'm just... Excuse me.
Who is that man?
Never mind. Beverly, I'm in great trouble.
What is it, Maggie?
I've fallen in love.
No!
Yes, for the first time, Beverly, I'm in love. I can't tell you about it, there isn't time. But Sherry's trying to break it up. In his own fiendish way, doing everything he can to break it up.
Why, the old flounder. What's he doing?
Lorraine. He's brought Lorraine here to smash it up.
So you mean it's someone here, in this town?
Yes, he's a newspaper man, the one you're going to see at the station. And he's written a play. Sherry must be using that as bait. No, Lorraine. She'll eat him up alive. You've got to help me, Beverly.
But how? How can I? I'm leaving.
Well, I've got to get Lorraine out of here. The farther away, the better. And you can do it for me.
How? How can I? I'm leaving.
Excuse me, Miss Cutler. Do you have a carbon of the broadcast?
Yes, there's one on that table.
Yeah, thanks. A penguin ate the original.
Well.
Here's what I want you to do.
Oh, I love it. It's simply enchanting, and I shall do it up brown. You know it bitches Sherry and Lorraine at the same time.
Oh, wonderful. The first name we need, baby, will be named Beverly.
Oh, I know I am. Come to Chiswick for your honeymoon. I'll put you up. I adore you, Maggie. Goodness gracious, let me out of here.
Shall I straighten the room for the broadcast, Miss Cutler?
No, John, it isn't television, thank God. They only hear the liquid voice.
He's wonderful. Mr. Whiteside, I mean. Things he finds time to do.
Yes, he certainly sticks his nose into everything, John.
Are the boys in there, Miss Cutler?
Yes, they are, Mr. Westcott.
Leaving, Miss Joe?
No, John, no. Mr. Whiteside isn't there, I suppose?
Yes, he's getting ready to go on the radio.
Okay. Well, look, John, would you...
Where is he? In the library?
Oh, never mind. Yes, he's very busy.
Well, come on, we gotta talk to him.
Thank you, John. Hello, dear. Where's Sherry?
Inside working. He's broadcasting very soon.
Oh, that's right, Christmas Eve. What a wonderful man Sheridan Whiteside is. It must be an utter joy to be a secretary for someone like him.
Yes, you meet so many interesting people. That's quite a gown, Lorraine. Going anywhere?
Oh, this? I'll just run anything at all. Aren't you dressing for dinner?
Oh, just what meets the eye.
Who does your hair, Maggie?
A little French woman named Maggie Cutler comes in every morning.
Oh. Well, every time I see it, I think, it could be so lovely. I've always wanted to get my hands on it.
Yes, I've always wanted to get mine on yours too, Lorraine.
What, dear?
What?
By the way, what time does Beverly get here? I'm not over anxious to meet him.
He's been and gone, Lorraine.
Oh, good. I'm very glad. Though you are good friends, aren't you? You and Beverly.
Yes, we are. I think he's a wonderful person.
Oh, I suppose he is. It's just I wouldn't care to ask him. That's all.
Tell me, Lorraine, have you found a new play yet?
No. I just left a pile of manuscripts waiting for me in New York, though I just rushed randomly with Sherry.
Yes, that was wonderfully of you, Lorraine, to drop everything that way and rush to Sherry's wheelchair.
crime. It says very married.
By the way, did you know that Mr. Jefferson is in quite good play? The young man that took you to the hotel.
Oh, no, I didn't. That's interesting. Well, if the polish on my nails, I simply loathe. I don't suppose Elizabeth Arden has a branch in town, does she?
Not if she has any sense.
Well, I didn't think so. I'll just bear it. So it doesn't impress me. Oh, this. I mean, this is just a wonderful book, Maggie. Everyone was reading on the boat. You just can't put it down.
I put it down right there. Hello? Yes? Yes? Miss Lorraine Sheldon? Yes, she's here. There's a transatlantic call coming through for you, Lorraine.
Transatlantic for me?
It's London.
Hello? Why, Cedric! Cedric, is this you? Oh, why, you darling! How did you know I was here? What? What? Cedric, please! Don't talk so fast, and you won't stutter so. Oh, yes, that's much better. It's as though you were right around the corner. Oh, Cedric. Oh, my dear, sweet Cedric. Oh, why, Maggie, darling, it's Lord Bosley's London. Do you mind?
Oh, not at all.
Go ahead, dear. What? Cedric! Please don't stutter so. Don't be nervous. Oh, Cedric. Oh, Cedric. Oh, you don't know how long I've been praying for this every night on the boat. Yes, 1,000 times yes. I'll get the next plane right out of here and get to London as soon as possible. Oh, my darling. Oh, my sweet. What? Cedric! Please don't stutter so. Oh, and I love you. Oh, I love you all so much. I do. Pretty little boy. I'll be out there as soon as possible. Goodbye. Sherry! That was Lord Baltimore from London. He's asking to marry him. What? Oh, isn't that wonderful? I simply have to get right out to London.
May I come in?
Oh, Maggie, can you help me get to London as soon as possible?
Why? What's happened?
Oh, Lord Baltimore has called me from London. He's asking to marry him.
Well, what do you know?
Oh, can you help me start getting things ready right away?
I'd be delighted to, Lorraine.
Do things up right away.
Oh, I have a timetable right here, and don't worry, because if there's no train, I'll drive you to Cleveland, and you can catch the plane from there.
Maggie, you're wonderful. You're so wonderful. Why, Sherry, I haven't said a word. You haven't even congratulated me.
Let me see if I understand this, Lorraine. Am I to gather from your girlish squeals that you are prepared to toss your entire career into the ash can?
Oh, no. Of course I won't be able to play this season, but there'll be other seasons.
I see. So then everything goes into the ash can with it. Is that right?
Oh, Sherry, you can't.
Don't explain, Lorraine. I understand only too well. I also understand why Cornell remains the first actress of our theater.
Oh, this is wonderful, Lorraine. We're in luck. There's a plane out of Cleveland at 10:02. It's only about an hour away from here. Oh, it all works out wonderfully, doesn't it, Sherry?
Peachy.
What's the number of the hotel I'm at, the Mansion House?
Natalia 32.
Miss Sally 32, please. Yes, I'll wait. Let's see, it's a 5-day boat. We're leaving Friday. I'll get there about Wednesday. Oh, hello. Yes, this is Miss Sheldon. May I please speak with the maid? Thank you.
Oh, look, Sherry. It's starting to snow. Oh, I've never felt more like Christmas in my life, don't you, Sherry, dear?
Don't shut your nasty little face.
Hello, Cassette. Cassette, my darling. I need you to start packing right away. We'll be leaving for London in about an hour. Now, before you do anything, I need you to send a few cables for me. Have you got a pencil? All right. The first goes to Lord and Lady Cunard. You'll find these addresses in my little book. All right. Lord and Lady Cunard, my darlings. Leaving Friday on the Queen Mary for London. We'll be marrying Cedric immediately upon arrival. I wanted you to be the first to know. Love, Lorraine. What? Oh, thank you, Cassette. Thank you very much. Now send the same message to Lady Astor, Lord Beaverbrook, and my mother in Kansas City. The next goes to Pierre Cartier, London. Please hold in reserve for me the string of pearls I picked out last October. Love, Lorraine. Now, please send one to Hattie Carnegie, New York. Please meet me, Sherry Netherlands, for lunch to go over drawings of wedding gown and trousseau. Love, Lorraine. Oh, that's it, dear. Now I need to start packing right away. We'll be there in about an hour. Oh, thank you, Cassette. You're wonderful. Oh, thank goodness for Cassette. She's the most wonderful name in the world. Oh, it's all wonderful. What if not an hour ago I'd be going to London?
An hour ago? No, I certainly wouldn't have thought that an hour ago.
Will you both stop this female drooling? I have a violent headache.
Oh, Sherry, may I get you something?
Sherry, I know you're disappointed, but it is my life, and if I want to get
Hello, everybody. Did you know what's going out? We're going to have a real old-fashioned Christmas.
So why don't you phone your scoop to the New York Times?
Bert, Miss Lorraine has to get explained at Cleveland tonight. Can we drive her over, you and I?
Why, certainly. Sorry you have to go, Miss Sheldon. No bad news, I hope?
Oh, no, on the contrary. Wonderful news, extraordinary news.
Oh, yes, indeed. Calls for a drink, I think. You're not being a very good host, Sherry. How about a bottle of champagne?
Oh, I can do better than that. Let me fix you a Jefferson special, Mr. Whiteside.
All right, mix anything. Only stop this dribbling.
Anybody admire my Christmas present yet, Maggie?
Dear, I forgot. Look, everyone, from Mr. Jefferson to me.
Oh, isn't that charming? Look at that, it's charming. Oh, great. To Sherry, to Maggie, dear. Long may she wear the bird. Oh, isn't that charming, Sherry?
Ducky.
I told you it's a beautiful bird, see?
Well, it shows what you can get if you save your coupon.
Oh, we don't keep too anyway. I hide something from us, Maggie.
Will this dribble never cease? My head is bursting.
The Jefferson special will cure anything, Mr. Whiteside. By the way, I did get a 2-minute interview with Beverly Carlton at the station. You're right, he's quite something.
Oh, go ahead and mix those drinks, Bert.
On the fire, I was lucky to get 2 minutes. He spent most of his time in the telephone booth.
Mix those drinks, will you?
You know, he spent most of his time in the telephone booth was making weird faces like a scene from one of his plays.
Bert, for God's sake!
Just a minute, Mr. Jefferson. You said Beverly was in a phone booth at the station?
He sure was. He stayed in there for about 5 minutes, just making the damnedest faces I'd ever seen.
Bert, my boy, I have a feeling I shall love the Jefferson special. Make mine a double, will you? My headache has gone with the wind.
Okay.
Sherlock Holmes is now at work. Hello, operator dear. Could you tell me, has there been a call to this phone from England within the past half hour? Yes, I'll wait.
Sherry, what is all this?
What? What's that? There have been no calls from England for the past 3 days? Thank you, operator dear. Blossom girl. Now, would you repeat that, please? Hear that, dear? Thank you, operator, and have a Merry Christmas.
Oh, Sherry, what is all this? I want this explained.
Lorraine, you have just played the greatest love scene of your life with your old friend Beverly Carlton.
No. That was Cedric I was talking to. That was Cedric.
No, that was Beverly you poured your girlish heart out to, not Lord Bottomley. Honey, who'd have thought 5 minutes ago that you would not be going to London?
No, Sherry, I want this explained.
Explain? You heard the operator. All I can tell you is Beverly was indulging in a famous bit of mimicry. You have heard him do Lord Bottomley, haven't you?
Oh, yes, of course. Why would he? Oh my God, those cables! Oh my God! Oh, hello? Please get me the hotel. Get me the hotel! Oh my God! Oh, the hotel, Betty! Hello? Please connect me to the maid. Who the hell do you think this is? Miss Sheldon, of course. Get me the maid! Oh, only Cassette has it. Hello? Cassette, darling, have you sent those cables? Oh God! No! Damn it! Wait. Cassette, we mustn't panic. Don't panic, Cassette. We can do something about this. I need you to send a new cable to all those people saying someone has been using my name and to disregard everything they've heard from me except for this. Don't ask questions, do as you're told. Don't argue with me, you French
Yes, dear.
ABCD. I don't know what to say. Hello?
Come along, Daisy.
Hello, New York.
Here comes the Jefferson Special. Oh, happy time.
Oh, yes. Why, we have all the time in the world. In fact, my plans have changed. I'm not going to England after all.
Really? Well, that's definitely good.
Oh, and I hear you've written a simply wonderful play, Mr. Jefferson. You'll have to read it to me tonight, after dinner, at my hotel. We'll go out back there and you can read me your play.
Why, I should say so. Did you hear that, Maggie? Hey, how would you do this? Well, it's the most wonderful gift you ever could have given me. Maggie! Maggie!
Mr. Whiteside!
Quiet, please.
My son has run off on a freighter and my daughter is marrying an anarchist.
Quiet, please.
Poor Jude, my poor Richard. This is the
Quiet, please! And they say you told them to do it. Don't you ever tell me to be quiet in my house, ever. Quiet, please!
The show's almost about to start.
Oh, well, I see you're still busy.
Cream of mush brings you Sheridan Whiteside.
This is Whiteside speaking. On this eve of eves, when my own heart is overflowing with joy and kindness, I think it fitting to once again tell the story of that still and lustrous night, nigh unto 2,000 years ago.
Well, sir, I can only be in one place at a time.
That's very fortunate for this community.
Morning, Mr. Whiteside. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, John. Merry Christmas.
Yeah? Ready for your breakfast, sir?
I don't really feel like eating breakfast this morning, John. Can you tell me, has Miss Cutler come in yet?
Yeah, afraid not. She's still up in her room. Shall I call for her?
No, that's all, John. Thank you.
Taking the 1 o'clock train, Sherry, I'm leaving.
You're doing nothing of the kind.
Here are your keys, your driving license, the key to the vaults in the apartment in New York. I'll go in here now and clear things up.
Now, just a moment here, Mrs. Siddons. Where were you until 3 o'clock this morning? I sat up half the night in this station wagon worrying about you. You heard me calling to you when you came in. Why didn't you answer me?
Look, Sherry, it's over and you won. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, come. What are you trying to do? Make me feel like a naughty boy? Really, Maggie, sometimes you can be very annoying.
No, you're quite wonderful in a way, Sherry. You're annoying. I wish there was a laugh left in me. Shall I tell you something, Sherry? I think you are a petty, selfish egomaniac who would see his mother burned at the stake if that were the only way you could light his cigarette. I think you'd sacrifice your best friend without a moment's hesitation if he ever disturbed the sacred routine of your paltry, self-centered little life. I think you're incapable of any human emotion that goes higher up than your stomach, and I was a fool of the world for ever thinking I could trust you.
Well, as long as I live, I will never do anyone a good turn again. I won't ask you to apologize, Maggie, because 6 months from now, you will be thanking me instead of
Expect to be so far away.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. I know I'm a little high, but I can explain everything. Hello, Maggie. Hello, Mr. Whiteside. Shake hands with a successful playwright. Maggie, why'd you run away last night? Where
go home, don't you?
No, no. Biggest day of my life. I know I'm a little drunk, but that's because we're over at Billy's Tavern, drinking all night long. Never knew it was daylight until it was daylight. So anyway, I read Miss Sheldon play. She says it needs a little work, so she's taking me up to her cabin in Lake Placid for 3 weeks, just to work on the play. Why don't you say something, Maggie?
Look, Bert, I think you should tell us all about this later. Right now, I introduce Ronald home. Excuse me.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas.
God bless us all and thank Tim.
Yes. Mr. Whiteside, I thought perhaps if I came...
You know what, Doc? I'm going to Lake Placid for 3 weeks. You know that famous actress? Miss Lorraine Sheldon? Yeah, she's taking me up to her cabin for 3 weeks. Isn't that wonderful, Doc?
Yes.
Look, Dr. Bradley, Mr. Jefferson here would like a little breakfast and some... He would like some black coffee. Would you take care of him, please, now?
Yes, of course.
You know what, Doc? I'm going to buy you the biggest breakfast you ever had.
Yes.
Hey, wait a minute. I got an idea. I got a couple of friends that do not believe in Santa Claus. Let's jump down the chimneys and frighten the hell out of them.
Now look, Maggie, I'm willing to forgive your tawdry outburst, and we'll sit down, we'll talk about this calmly.
I love him so terribly.
Why did you do it, Sherry? Why?
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Miss Stanley.
I'm afraid I shouldn't be seen talking to you. My brother is very upset. But I couldn't resist asking. Did you like my Christmas present?
I haven't opened your present, Miss Stanley. Haven't opened any of my gifts yet.
Oh, dear. I was so anxious, too. It's right here. Won't you open it now?
I appreciate your thinking of me, Miss Stanley, and it's very thoughtful of you. Why, it's lovely. I'm very fond of these old photographs. Thank you.
I was 20 when that was taken. That was my favorite dress. Do you really like it?
I do indeed. When I come back to New York, I shall send you a little gift.
You will? I shall treasure it always. Well, I shall be late for church. Goodbye.
Bye, Miss Stanley, and thank you.
Goodbye.
What is it about that woman?
Mr. Whiteside, Sarah's made another goodie for you, sir. She's bringing it right out.
Thank you, John. John? Miss Green! Miss Green!
Yes, sir.
Answer that, will you? John's upstairs.
Who is it?
All the answers! I love you, Matt! Matt! Did you hear what I said?
Oh, my God! Who are you? Don't you dare! Oh, me!
I can really...
Oh, my God!
Banjo, for God's sake, Banjo!
Hello, Whiteside. Will you sign for this package?
Mr. Whiteside!
Banjo, put that woman down! That is my nurse, you mental delinquent!
Come to my room in a half hour and bring some rice.
Oh! Really, Mr. Whiteside?
Whiteside, I'm here to spend Christmas with you. Give me a kiss, old boy.
Get off of me, you boarding school fugitive! How did you get here anyway?
Borrowed reindeer from Daryl Zanuck. Whiteside, we just finished shooting the picture yesterday, and I'm on my way to Nova Scotia. I flew in here in under 12 hours. Borrowed a plane from Howard Hughes, in fact. Whiteside, I brought you the most splendid Christmas gift. This brassiere was once worn by Henry Lamar.
Listen, you idiot, how long can you stay? Oh, just long enough to take a bath. I'm on my way to Nova Scotia. Oh, where's Maggie? Nova Scotia? What are you going to Nova Scotia for? Oh, I'm sick and tired of Hollywood. And there's this dame in New York that I do not want to see. So I figured I'd just go to Nova Scotia and have some smoked salmon. I want to see Maggie. Where is she? What have you done with her? Banjo, I'm glad you're here. I'm very annoyed with Maggie right now. Very. Oh, what's the matter? Hey, I thought you said you couldn't walk. Oh, I've been all right for weeks. That isn't the point. Furious at Maggie. She's turned on me like a viper. You know how fond I am of her? Well, after all these years, she's repaid my affection by behaving like a fishwife. What are you talking about? I never believed for one moment that she was really in love with him. In love with who? Yeah, I just got here, remember? I'm telling you, you Hollywood nitwit! The young newspaper man here in town. So Maggie finally fell. What kind of guy is he? Just shut up and listen, will you? Oh, go on, what happened? Well, Lorraine and Sheldon happened to stop by. Old hot pants? Here? Now listen! This young newspaper man, his name is Bert Jefferson. He wrote a play, and somehow Lorraine found out about the play. You can guess the rest. Now she and Jefferson are off to Lake Placid for 3 weeks to rewrite. So there you are. Maggie's sitting there now crying her eyes out. Gee. Hey, wait a minute. What do you mean Lorraine Sheldon happened to be here? I smell a rat, Sherry. A rat with the beard. Oh, right, all right. I did for Maggie because I thought it was the right thing for her. Oh, sure, you haven't thought of yourself in years. Can I go in and talk to her? No, Banjo, leave her alone. Hey, where's this guy live? This guy she likes. Can we get a hold of him? Now look, Banjo. I don't need any phony warrants or you pretending to be J. Edgar Hoover. That's just a rumor. That's this with you before. I can't have that. I got Lorraine out here, and I've got to get her out of here. Well, it's got to be good, Sherry. Lorraine is no dope. And there's got to be some way to get her running out of here like a bat out of hell, but what? That's it! I got it! Who's that chap she likes so much in England? What's his name, Lord? Bandy? Lord Burnaby? Lord Bottomley, that's it! No, Banjo, no! You don't catch on. You see, you send a cablegram to Lorraine from Lord Bottomley saying... I catch on, Banjo. Lorraine caught on too. It's been trying. I told you she was no dope. Well, we have got a tough proposition on our hands. The trouble is, Banjo's just so damn little time. I wish I knew what to... Get out of my way! God! Freedom of nature! Oh, damn! There's got to be some way out of this. The trouble is, I've just done this job too well. Now, hell! Stuck, huh? In the words of one of our greatest lyric poets, you said it. Yeah. Don't you worry. We'll find some way to get her out of here. Boy, am I hungry. We'll get Lorraine out of here, even if we have to do it one piece at a time.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside. Excuse me. I've got something for you.
Never mind, Sarah. He's quite mad. On Patrushka. I wish I'd dance. Dance in the snow.
Mr. Whiteside? Mr. Whiteside?
Just give him some breakfast, Sarah. He's relatively harmless. Oh, yeah. And just what does this mean?
It means, Mr. Whiteside, that I am leaving. My address is on the desk. You can send me a check.
You realize, Miss Creed, this is completely unprofessional?
I do indeed. I'm not only leaving on this case, but I am leaving the nursing profession. Ever since I was a little girl, I was filled with the notion of serving a suffering humanity. After 1 month with you, Mr. Whiteside, I'm going to work in a munitions factory. Now, anything I can do to help exterminate the human race will fill me with the greatest pleasure. If Florence Nightingale had ever nursed you, Mr. Whiteside, she would have married Jack the Ripper instead of found me the Red Cross. Good day.
Adrian upstairs. I've got something I want to say to Mr. Whiteside.
Haven't you got enough melodrama already? I don't need to be taken upstairs. I'll go upstairs myself.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Whiteside. Doesn't look so good for John L. Lewis.
Come on, Mother, lock me in my room.
Well, all you need is a nice warm bath here. Have you ever had dinner tonight?
It is my pleasure, sir, to inform you that your plans for my daughter have gone a trifle, shall we say, awry. She is not, nor will she ever be, married to that labor agitator that you so kindly picked out for her. As for my son, Richard, he's been apprehended in Toledo and will be returned home within the hour. Not having your gift for invective, sir, I cannot tell you what I think of your obnoxious interference in my affairs, but I have arranged that you will interfere no longer. Come in, please, gentlemen. Mr. Whiteside, these men are deputy sheriffs. They have a warrant by which I am able to put you out of my house, and I needn't add it will be the greatest moment of my life. I'm giving you 15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside, to pack up and get out. If you're not gone within 15 minutes, these men will forcibly eject you. Thank you, gentlemen. Could you please wait outside? 15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside. That's bag, baggage, wheelchair, octopus, cockroaches, and penguins. I am now going upstairs to smash our radio so that not ever even accidentally will I hear your voice again.
Are you sure you don't want my autograph, old fellow?
15 minutes, Mr. Whiteside.
Oh, she could. Well, I didn't get any ideas, Whiteside. What's the news from the front?
The enemy is at my rear and nibbling.
Where'd you say Maggie was in there?
It's no use, Banjo. She's taking the 1 o'clock train out.
No kidding. I mean, you didn't tell me that. You mean she's leaving you after all these years?
She is?
That means you've only got till 1 o'clock to do something.
No, Banjo, dear. I have exactly 15 minutes. 14 minutes in which to pull out of my hat the goddamnedest rabbit you have ever seen.
What are you talking about?
In 14 minutes from now, Banjo, baby's rosy little body is being tossed out into the snow. My host has sworn out a warrant. I am being kicked out.
Jeez. Now, why would you think you'd want to do a thing like that for?
Never mind, that's not important. The point is, I have only 14 minutes. Banjo, dear, the master is growing a little desperate.
Hey, why not laying your cards down with Lorraine?
Now, Banjo, you know Dream Girl as well as I do. What do you think?
You're right.
Banjo, go in there and talk to Maggie, will you? Right in there. I need to think.
Wait a minute. If I knew where Lorraine was, I could get a car and run her over. I mean, it wouldn't hurt her.
Please, Banjo, I need to think.
Oh, pardon me, miss. Is this the YMCA?
Is this man your father?
No, you idiots. Hello, Mr. Whiteside. I didn't get very far. Any suggestions?
Sorry, Richard. I'm very sorry indeed. I wish I were in a position to...
Well, you're not in a position. Thank you very much, officer. Here's something for your time.
Thank you.
10 minutes, Mr. Whiteside.
I've got your orange juice, sir. Feeling any better?
Superb, John. Any cyanide in that orange juice?
Would you like me to add some?
Get that, will you, John?
Yes, sir.
It's probably some mustard gas from an old friend.
Oh, by the way, that crazy fellow made a great hit with Sarah. Something about a screen test.
Oh, Banjo.
Oh, good morning, darling. Merry Christmas, darling. Merry Christmas. I'm here to have Christmas breakfast with you. You don't mind, of course.
Oh, of course not, my sprite. John.
Yes, sir.
A tray for Miss Sheldon, please. Better make it 1 minute eggs.
My, it's the most beautiful Christmas morning we've ever seen. Snow laying on the trees. Oh, it's too bad you won't be able to get out into it.
Oh, I'll probably get out there and see a bit of it. So I hear you're off for late class at my Blossom. What time are you leaving?
Oh, I don't know. Is Bert here? Did he tell you?
No, he rolled through a little while ago. Worked rather fast, didn't you, dear?
Oh, well, the play is fantastically good, Sherry. It's the kind of part that comes along only 10 years. Oh, why, I'm so grateful to you. Sometimes I think you're one of my only friends in the world.
Thank you, dear. Now, what time did you say you were leaving? You and Jefferson?
Oh, I don't know, 4 o'clock? Oh, well, all things aside, he is a rather attractive man. Oh, it makes things rather pleasurable squaring accounts with Miss Vitriol. Oh, Sherry, I'm so grateful to you. I want to give you a Christmas present. Anything in the world, just name it. I'm so deliriously happy I could just... That sounds like Banjo. He's not here, is he?
Yes, he is, dear. It's just the family circle gathering at Christmas time.
That's good. Why, hello, Lorraine. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm just fine, Banjo, and yourself.
Oh, just fine, fine. Hey, say, how's the mattress business doing, Lorraine?
Oh, it's too bad your pictures aren't as funny as you seem to think you are, Banjo.
Oh, ouch. Got me there, Mama. Say, Lorraine, you look in the feet. Anything in the wind, Whiteside?
Not a glimmer.
Well, what time does the boat sail?
10 minutes?
What boat is this?
Oh, just the good ship up the creek.
I've done everything except for 2 New Year's Eve broadcasts in order. Wasn't there a schedule on that?
I think it's on one of these tables here somewhere.
New Year's Eve. Oh, Bert and I'll be able to hear it up in Lake Placid. You've been there, you know how it is. Nothing but snow and clear, cold nights. Oh, that must be Bert now. I told him to meet me here. Oh, I'm quite looking forward to Lake Placid. I'm sure Bert will play all winter sports beautifully.
Will he get time?
Right. Goodness. This way.
What in the world is...
Bert is for you, sir.
Oh, what is it?
My God, if there was one thing I needed now, it was an Egyptian mummy.
Merry Christmas from the Khedive of Egypt. And what did you send him? Grants too?
5 minutes, Mr. Whiteside. 5 minutes, including that thing.
Who is that man?
He announces the time every few minutes. I pay him a small sum.
What a for?
I lost my watch.
I see you're so
Oh,
busy.
God!
I'll wait in here. I've written a new chapter on the left kidney.
Is he still fixing the plumbing? In the Khedive of Egypt. Oh, it's magnificent. I've always wanted to go to Egypt. I went to Pompeii last year, and I cried all night. All those people, all those lives. Whatever happened to them? Did you ever think about that? Well, I know I do. There was a woman, quite like myself, living out her life. The same hopes and fears and dreams. And now, 4,000 years later, a mere atom in the span of time, mere mind, a woman quite like her, living out her life. I want to cry. Oh, but we mustn't think about this. It's Christmas.
Lorraine, dear, have you ever played St. Joe?
Oh, no, why do you ask?
There is something about your expression as you stepped into that case. It transcended any mortal expression I've ever seen. Step into it again, dear.
Oh,
My dear, when you stepped into that cave,